Noble late harvest is a category of wine produced with grapes which are attacked or contaminated by a fungus. That sounds very bad. That's why we even call it noble rot, which sounds even worse. But it actually makes the best sweet wines in the world.
Correct.
Some of the best German Trockenbeeren Auslese, some of the best wines from Hungary in Tokaj or in Sauternes are made with this method. What happens is with the fungus on the surface of the berry, it's making the skin very thin, allowing the water to evaporate, concentrating sugar and acidity, making the wine sweet, fresh, lemony, a great wine. In South Africa, Noble Late Harvest was invented by a winery called Nederburg. Gunther Brosel was the first as a winemaker of Nederburg to produce Noble Late Harvest in South Africa, and Nederburg still continues to produce Noble Late Harvest. We are now tasting the 2019 Noble Late Harvest from Nederburg. It's mostly Muscat de Frontignan with Chenin Blanc. What do we have in the glass, Kathy? I see your smile.
You see my smile. We have a medium yellow gold color. I was once told by a master of wine when I was studying wine that one can only use the term gold for Sauternes, and I disagree. I think you use rose gold for Sauternes and yellow gold for others. But it's that lovely, bright, luminous color. On the nose, it's incredibly complex, potentially because of the mix of the very aromatic Muscat grape and then the Chenin. So from the Chenin, I'm getting white peach and some melon. And from the Muscat, I'm getting a little bit of grapey tones, but also lots of floral elements and tropical elements,
yeah,
like mango, papaya. So it's really a lovely complex nose. Not really picking up overt botrytis on the nose, and I really pick up that overt botrytis. It's almost a slightly chemical character for me with the dried apricots.
I got a touch of wax on the finish.
Waxy.
That might help to explain the botrytis, but I think this wine is really overwhelmed by the raw power of Muscat de Frontignan. This grapey side delivering all this range of tropical fruits and all the flowers, honeysuckle.
Honeysuckle, definitely.
That you can find on that wine, making it, I should not say a fruit bomb because that would not pay tribute to this very complex wine, but you have a lot in your glass.
Yes, there's a lot to cope with here, but it's all beautiful because the palate is this wonderfully expressive thing that follows on actually from the nose. All of the characters that were on the nose you can find on the palate. So you've got complexity in all levels. It's sweet. What we said, nearly 160 grams per litre sweetness. Your Sauternes are usually anything from 90 grams per litre to about 125 grams per litre sweetness. And it's kind of light and delicate because unlike Sauternes, this has only got 11% alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol is very well contained on that.
Very
wine.
well contained, whereas your Sauternes would be at about 14%, 13.5 to 14%. The wine for me is on the delicate side of sweetness. It's not showing the richness that a botrytized wine can often show. It's still a beautiful drink.
I think as well, don't expect a bold acidity because everything is shadowed by the power of the fruit here.
Absolutely.
And 160 grams is a lot. So even if the acidity is here, helping the wine to stay fresh, it's as well hidden by the power of the sweetness. And that's the reason why the alcohol is only 11 alcohol. I think that's an interesting choice from the winemaker to achieve this balance, keeping the purity of fruit as well.
That's a very good point. I think he's really done a great job to keep this purity of fruit. And you've got to say that even at 160 grams per litre, this wine is not cloying.
That's the point.
It's still delicate and fresh, and it does almost lift your palate at the end.
Because 160 grams in the world of sweet wine is a lot of sugar. And here, the wine doesn't taste heavy at all.
Not at all.
Dessert time or aperitif time?
Is my aperitif coming with foie gras?
Okay, so if you're vegan, you can turn it off now. Otherwise, foie gras and Nederburg Noble Late Harvest 2019. Thank you, Kathy.
Cheers.
Cheers.